Welcome to everybody. And we're going to go ahead and get the meeting started.
Here I come. You can welcome me.
Welcome to Boulder Rotary, the best place to be on a Friday afternoon in Boulder, Colorado. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our Pledge of Allegiance. Sarah Parkinson, one of our newest members, is going to be leading us today.
Good afternoon. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. And our four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Number one, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you so much, Sarah. And we're looking forward to getting to know more about you in a little bit here when we have Susan Connolly taking you from into our red badge. And I have some sad news for everybody. If you may know that Dave Height, who has spent 60 years tirelessly dedicated to building and establishing McGuckin Hardware as a cornerstone of Boulder, and is also a longtime Boulder Rotarian, passed away this past Monday at the age of 91. So we're very sad to hear that about Dave, and I wanted to thank Bob Stunkel for sending out a card on the behalf of the club. So thank you, Bob. Now I'd like to introduce Charlotte Rome, who is our membership chair, and she is going to help us greet our guests and visitors today. Charlotte.
Thank you, President Sally. And yes, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our guests and visitors. First, I'd like to call on Darla, if you'd like to introduce Jerry to us, please. Thank you.
As soon as I get unmuted and chew on this thing I popped in my mouth, I would just love to welcome Jerry Walsh. Jerry might be off screen eating her lunch also. You know how we want to be demure about it. But Cass and I are co-sponsoring Jerry. And Jerry and I have been talking about BRC membership for quite some time. And that time has arrived. So when she was ready, she was ready. So we got her proposal submitted, and we'll just wait for the process to evolve. And I'm sure we'll be welcoming Jerry as a new member very soon. Thank you, Charlotte. Welcome, Jerry.
Thank you, Darla, and welcome, Jerry. Great to have you here, and we're excited to have you join us soon. So
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy it today. I am just looking through names and just wondering if we have any other guests or visitors today. I didn't see other names come up in our chat. If you are a guest or visitor that we've missed, please unmute yourselves and introduce yourself. Okay. I think that is all we have. If we have missed you, please go ahead and put your name in the chat. And again, welcome to you all today, and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Charlotte, and welcome, Jerry. And thank you, Darla and Cassidy, for bringing her into the club. So this past week, District 5450 met with the 9 News Health Fair. And so I'd like to thank Mike Brady, Michael McHale, Susan Connolly, and one of our newest members, Dr. Bob Murphy, for being on that call to find out how what the program looks like, and trying to learn a little bit more. It sounds like it's kind of preliminary, but I did want to call on Dr. Bob Murphy right now, because he does have another way, if you're interested, if you're a healthcare worker, that you could begin to help at this point. And maybe Bob could also give us a little short update on the 9 News. Go ahead, Bob.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. The 9 News Health Fair, they basically were not able to do any of their health fairs during COVID. And but they've been given the opportunity by, I think, the governor and the state of Colorado to help establish vaccination sites. And they reached out to statewide Rotary clubs to help them, plan this. It's still very much in the preliminary stages, so more information will be coming from the 9 News Health Fair people. But the governor has also reached out to former or licensed practitioners, retired physicians, dentists, chiropractors, and veterinarians, retired or still active, to maybe be part of the vaccination program in the state of Colorado. And there's a couple steps you need to do to get ready to do this. There's you go to the Colorado Volunteer Mobilizer website. That's Colorado Volunteer Mobilizer website. And you'll have to then establish a username with a password. And then that website will direct you to a federal website, the FEMA website. And when you go on the FEMA website, you have to establish, get a SIN number with them. And then they want you to take 2 FEMA tests. And you are prompted to watch a couple videos and also read through some handouts and take a couple FEMA tests. And after the FEMA test, and you pass them, you get to print out some nice little forms there, some nice little certificates. And then you send those, email those to the state, and that way you're registered on the Mobilizer website to be part of the vaccination program for the state of Colorado. So I can send Sally a email, and she can then dispense it to everybody with these steps. So I'd recommend that anybody who is a healthcare worker that wants to be part of this, that they go ahead and do these steps, get their certificates through FEMA so that you're ready to go if and when 9 Health News and the Rotary clubs are able to put together their programs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bob. And if you send that to me, we'll make sure we can put a link in the rib, and then we'll also send it out to the membership. So, and thank you. And we'll hopefully Rotary will be able to do what it always does, which is step in and help when time comes. Thank you so much, Bob. Thank you. All right, and now we're going to move on to a red badge, and Susan Connolly will be introducing us to Sarah Parkinson.
It is my honor to introduce our newest member, Sarah Parkinson, who was sponsored by Ronnie Wells and Charlotte Rome. Sarah was born and raised in small town Iowa. She holds degrees in piano performance from the University of Iowa and the New England Conservatory of Music, and a Doctor of Musical Arts in collaborative piano from CU Boulder. Sarah lived in Switzerland for 2 years, teaching piano at a boarding school. That's where she met her husband, John, who is from New Zealand. They moved to Boulder in 2006. John worked at the Med and Brasserie 1010 for 8 years and now has his own French macaron business, Johnny Sugar Confections. Yum. Sarah and John and their 2 boys, ages 7 and 10, live in the Palo Park neighborhood, and the boys attend Crestview Elementary. Dr. Parkinson maintains a varied career as pianist, conductor, and arts administrator. She is the interim executive director of the Boulder Philharmonic Orchestra after spending a season as its director of education and community engagement. She has served on the staff and faculties of CU Boulder, Cornell College in Iowa, and Metropolitan State University in Denver. As pianist, Sarah performs regularly with the Colorado Ballet Orchestra and members of the Colorado Symphony, and she is a founding member of the tango ensemble Grande Orquesta Navarre. As conductor, Sarah made her operatic conducting debut with Mozart's Così fan tutte for Boulder Opera in 2018. She was assistant conductor for CU Boulder's 2019 Eklund Opera production of Eugene Onegin. She has been a member of the Central City Opera Ensemble since 2012, performing in gala events and in schools across the Denver metro area. And Sarah has been music director at St. Aidan's Episcopal Church in Boulder since 2015. What an accomplished and busy person. Sarah's dad was a Rotarian, and growing up, she delivered Meals on Wheels with her mom. Sarah said she feels that she's reached the point in her life where community means more to her than ever. And Rotary seems like a great chance to engage in community-oriented work and make connections with those in other industries. Please join me in welcoming Sarah Parkinson to Boulder Rotary Club.
Welcome, Sarah. We are very impressed by all of your accomplishments. And Susan, you were right, she's very busy. Thank you so much, Susan. And now I think we have a red to blue badge, and Nancy Chin Wagner, otherwise known as NCW, will be talking to us about Sadikin Budaman. Nancy.
Good afternoon, everyone. And so today I am so excited to introduce Sadikin Budaman from red to our group, the blue badge. And so Sadikin is a member of the Boulder Rotary since July 24th of 2020 during the COVID era. And that's behind us now, so we're looking forward. He's been 6 months. He was sponsored by Cassidy Murphy and Charlotte Roan. His wife, Elena, is where he met her in San Jose, California, and he has 3 adult children. Cassidy and Charlotte are his sponsors. Sadikin was born in Jakarta, Indonesia, which is one of the largest Muslim country in the world, in a Chinese family. His mom is a Tao Buddhist, and his dad taught him Confucius. Sadikin is an investor and a senior director at Seagate in Longmont. And as a director, he's a customer technical engineer, which is to really make people and his customers happy. What a great job. And as an investor, which is, I think, is in his heart, his goal is impact investing. So he's investing in the community to make an impact. So, Sadikin, welcome. And I have my first question for you. What did you bring to you when you arrived in the US from Jakarta? And what values have you gained from your upbringing?
Well, it goes back many years ago. I don't know if I remember everything there, but I remember one thing though. I came with one suitcase, one-way ticket, and I didn't speak much of English. So it was a challenge for me. The big thing in my heart was that I have a big ambition and I always want to learn and grow. And at some point in life, want to share what I learned. So.
And that's wonderful. So let me ask you then.
Yeah.
What values did you bring with you from your parents?
I think in terms of values, there's so many other things. I grew up in Catholic church, and also I was taught by so many and friends in the Muslim world, as well as in the family of Buddhism and Taoism. So I think one of the things that I brought with me was faith, where, whenever I'm having a rough time in life, I always thought, this is probably just the hardship that I need to go through. And when I come through it, come out of it, I'd be a much stronger person.
Thank you. Now, in your different positions and jobs, you traveled like globally, right? What's your favorite city and why?
Favorite cities, I have many of them. But one, as I thought about my travel sometimes, what is it that when I go to a place and I wish I come back again at some point in life? One of the things that it's always amazing to me is the people. The ones that I left a place was actually when I was traveling in China. I had the opportunity to do travel with salespeople, sales folks that support sales, and I was traveling to the area where it was between China and Thailand. There's a border there, and there's a city, a small city. Well, a small city is relative in China. It's millions of people in even a small city, and we got to go to an orphanage place, and it was very touching moments when we saw little kids and or handicapped or in fact when a baby died. I'm not sure if it was a baby or toddler. I had the opportunity to meet, and she had beautiful brown big eyes, but unfortunately those eyes are part of a head that was really big. So that definitely, I think it's I don't remember what the disease called, but it was very touching. As she was crying until I touched her and then grabbed her and put her in my lap, and it was difficult to let her back. And then when things like that, sometimes it's very touching.
Yeah, those are the experiences that we all take into your heart. So saying that and what you experienced, how has the model of the Boulder Rotary Club, service above self, impact you?
Yeah, when I first thought about, and I moved back from overseas 4 years ago, I thought that there's something that I need to do also. Not, there's always the reason why we move to a place. We always think that it's because of the job or because of something, but I think sometimes we don't realize it's maybe there's other purpose. So I thought, well, maybe there's a purpose here that I need to do. So I come across BRC, and I thought, that's the place that I need to be in and mingle with people who have the same aspirations, desires to serve, because this is all about serving others and serving communities. So I thought, this resonates well with me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sadigan.
Thank you. Thank you for the
pleasure interviewing today with the questions and stuff for people to get to know you and all your experiences. And I hope everyone here in the Rotary group welcomes Sadigan to the Boulder Rotary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again for everything.
Welcome to the Blue Badge, Sadigan.
Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you, Nancy Chin Wagner. You're always so really good at this. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Susan Connolly, you're amazing at this as well. Thank you again. And Sarah, welcome to Red Badge. We're looking forward to seeing more of all of you. And I have to point out here, because George Garmy is so funny, and he says, all of us are looking forward to meeting all of us again. Which is so true. All right, George Russell, do we have any birthdays today?
Well, we don't have any birthday people that signed up, but I do have a poem about how I've lived 1,000,000 lives. I remember back when I was 10, each day would be a thrill. One day I'd be a marshal chasing bandits over the hills. Next day I'd be Quanah Parker, and it couldn't come too soon. I'd ride my pony like the wind underneath a Comanche moon. Maybe I'd be a rough rider riding up San Juan Hill. Tomorrow I'd have a rifle and I'd shoot like Buffalo Bill. I've sailed on pirate ships across the bounding main. I fought at the Alamo using Davy Crockett's name. Took a steamer from Fort Benning and I trapped the mussel shell. Drove herds across Red River all along the Chisholm Trail. Took the Butterfield stage out of Sherman, headed west toward California. Bought and traded horses and mules at the Russell Brothers barn. I've lived 1,000,000 lives, trying hard to realize and surmise how it would have been way back then and see it through their eyes. Standing there in their boots, living in those early times, making those dire decisions and living within their minds. And though you may not admit it, And you may think this is a game, but I bet most of you sitting there have also done the same. Thank you.
Thank you
So-
so much, George. You're always so entertaining with your birthday, with your, sorry, I was getting distracted there, sorry. With your poems.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and I also just saw in the chat here that Marion Jamrose says that Sister Carmen needs peanut butter. So if you're in the area or you're shopping, you could pick up some extra peanut butter. That would be great. Thanks for pointing that out, Marion. Okay, and Fred, can you cue up the brew for us, please?
Hello, Rotarians and guests, and thank you for being here today. The way to get it started is to quit talking and start doing. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Oh, hey, and here's Bernie at a Rotary meeting.
I don't know why he thinks that's so funny. This year's Regional Spelling Bee, co-sponsored by Boulder Rotary Club, will be held virtually on March 6th. Virtually? How are we going to see action like this if it's virtual? Contact Norris Hermsmeyer for more details.
The Rotarian magazine celebrates 110 years with this most recent publication. It's now known as the Rotary Magazine, and most past issues are available at rotary.org. Tired of just about everything in your recipe book? Well,
BRC needs new recipes from you. Jancy Campbell and Sue Deans are heading this publication, so please turn in all of your wonderful recipes.
the other day I stood here for about 10 minutes. Nothing happened.
Saturday, February 13th from 4 to 5:30 is the next Intergenerational Philosophy Circles. They'll be talking about money. Why is it taboo to talk about money? How does your relationship with money affect your life? So please contact Norma Portnoy to volunteer. Aww.
Look, here's Bernie at Casa Bonita. Doesn't he know what the food's like?
Next week's program is Paul Cada, Program Manager for Vail Fire and Emergency Services, firefighting in Colorado.
Don't miss it.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true.
There is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. Amanda Gorman.
Starting to see some progress on the virus, but remember social distancing, 6 feet. The average length of a tiger is 6 feet. But don't use a real tiger for measurement. And keep at least 6 rhinos, which is 40 feet between you and a tiger. But don't use real rhinos either. Everybody, have a great weekend.
Thank you to everybody, and I hope you do have a wonderful weekend. So thank you, Fred Hull. Thank you, past president greeter, Lena Kotke. Sarah Parkinson, welcome. Charlotte Rome, thank you very much for the guests and visitors. Dr. Bob Murphy, thank you for the update. Andy Cadlick for wonderful talk from Thistle. And always Cassidy Murphy, Bill Anderson, Chad Stam, and Daryl Brown working the magic behind the scenes on the questions. Alessandro Sachs, thanks for being our responder today. Susan Connolly and NCW, thank you for welcoming. Sarah Parkinson and Sadikin for being in a blue badge. George Russell for your wonderful poem. And to all of you, have a great week. I'll see you next week when we're going to talk about Colorado and fires. We'll see you there. Bye-bye. And here's the bell. Thank you, Daryl.